Hi, this is Jason Hornung, President and Creative Director of JH Media. We've spent over $30 million profitably on digital ads over the years. And in this video, you're going to discover a strategy that's working right now on Facebook to take campaigns from $100 per day up to $1,000 plus per day and maintain day one return on ad spend, or ROAS, inside of the account with Facebook ads. This is the strategy that's working right now on campaign budget optimization to be able to rapidly scale up counts and keep the profits there in the account and maintain that for a long time. This is a big problem that many advertisers are facing today. And in this video, you're going to get the solution to it. All right, so let me walk you through the whole thing that I've mapped out on the whiteboard here so that you can understand what's going on, and I'll explain the strategy. So this is something that we're actually doing inside of one of our clients' accounts right now. It's an e-commerce client, and we've been able to replicate this across a variety of different ad accounts for clients in every single possible niche and market imaginable. So here's the situation. First off, this only is going to work with an offer that has proof of concept. You have to have proof of concept in your system. Your offer's got to be proven to convert. This particular offer that we're doing this strategy with has had millions of dollars of ad spend. Now, it doesn't need to be that much, okay? I just want you to know this one's been really well proven. You need to have some proof of concept. You need to have made sales. You need to have had some consistency, probably at least $20,000 of spend behind ads already that you've been profitable. So you've got that proof of concept there to your offer, your funnel, and you need to have proven audiences that have worked for your offer and your funnel already. Those were the situations that have been happening here. Now, what's also happening is we're trying to test new creative and find something that's going to beat our goals so that we can scale it up quickly. We're in that situation where we've got something that's been working and we're constantly trying to improve and test new stuff. Then what we're also trying to do here is rapidly scale the winners and then maintain ROAS or improve upon that ROAS with these creatives. That's the situation that we're going about here. Now, how we designed this particular scaling strategy inside of the Facebook Ads Manager, and you can tell right here, this is a crude drawing of that right now to represent this. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I went into the actual Ads Manager and showed that stuff on screen, Facebook wouldn't let me put this up as an ad, and I want to get this into the hands of as many people as possible because it's absolutely huge. That's why I'm also dressed in my fancy workout clothes here as I'm shooting this high production video for you today. Okay, so the campaign objective that we're using is conversions here. So the concept is we're using conversions, we're using campaign budget optimization, and when we start this, we start each campaign with $100 per day. Now, inside of that campaign, what we're doing is we're putting 3 to 5 ad sets. Only 3 to 5 inside of that campaign. And all of these ad sets need to be audiences that are proven. All right? So they have to be audiences that have already been tested and proven. And we're going to create one ad set per audience. Right now, inside that ad set, we're going to leave everything as wide as we possibly can. All right, so we're going to use the default placements, which in Facebook is what they call the all placements. So we're going to use that default. We're going to use the default conversion window of 7-day click /1 day view. That's what it defaults to now. Make sure you leave that as the default. The default placements, we're going to default optimize for conversions. And then we're going to exclude buyers and people that have been into this funnel last day, 30 days. All right, so we want to make sure we're excluding the proper audiences here so that we're not, re-showing these ads to people who've already bought the product, unless this is a repeat purchase product. Okay, but typically that's not going to be the case. So we want to make sure we do our exclusions, and then we're going to include one audience. That's it. And it's going to be one of our proven top 3 to 5 audiences that's going to be in that ad set. And then you're going to set all of your demographic information to whatever you have that set to. So if you're targeting men, in the US that are 35 to 50, set that. Just make sure that you choose from the drop-down box to select people who live in this location, because it defaults to people, everyone in this location, which means that if you've got somebody traveling into the country that you're advertising in, they're going to show the ads to those people, and there might not be the right people for you. Okay, so make sure you choose that drop-down box to people who live in this location. Right, then you're going to select the one target audience, put your exclusions on, basically leave everything else to the default. Now, what does this look like inside of the ad set? We're going to do one creative inside of the ad set. That's it. Each ad set is going to have the same creative. We use the post ID for that creative. So you submit one, get it approved, get the post ID, and then you're going to duplicate that ad using the existing post ID into the other ad sets. Now, if you had 5 ad sets inside of your campaign, this is what it's going to look like kind of in your Facebook Ads Manager. And I want to show you how these things generally work out in reality and what you're looking for in order to be able to execute the scaling strategy. So we're going to start this at $100 per day, and we're going to let this run for 24 hours without touching it. Okay, that's the key. You have to let it run for 24 hours, let it spend that $100. Do not touch it. Resist the temptation. When you do that, you come back in and you look at it the next day, you're going to see something like this. Now, these numbers are completely arbitrary. I don't do the math on it. They more than likely aren't going to add up to an exact 100. I just kind of roughed it with my head right here, but I wanted to see what it'll look like in reality when you go in and look at this. Now, you're going to have a variety of different results across these ad sets. You know, for one example, I had audience B here had 0 results. They had 0 sales. And you're going to have a variety of different spend across these ad sets because Facebook is going to distribute that differently based on what they think is actually occurring inside of there. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, right? But this is how it'll play out. Now, in this scenario, our client's goal is a CPA of $40 or less. Okay, so in this scenario, we had one that didn't give us any conversions, and then we had others that did give us conversions at a variety of different CPAs. Every single one of them is actually less than 40 bucks, so it's really, really good. We'd have a lot of proof of concept to this, and there's a lot of things that we could do with it. But for this particular strategy, what we're looking for is we're looking for something that indicates to us that it's a clear winner. And that demarcation point is we're looking for something that is less than 1/4 of the goal KPI. Okay, so in this case, if our goal is 40 bucks, then I want something that is going to be $10 or less on the CPA. All right, and that's why I use some of these numbers, because we've got 1120 here, we've got 0, we've got 2564, we got 789, bing, 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 bing. That's our winner in this kind of scenario, and especially if it's got multiple conversions like that. Okay, so this one had our most conversions, and it's under 1/4 of our goal CPA. So what we do to scale that is we're actually going to create a new campaign, and we're going to pull this audience out into a new campaign. We're going to leave all of the settings in the ad set, all that stuff's going to stay the same. But in this campaign now, what we're going to do is we're going to change the daily budget to $1,000, and we're only going to have this one audience in there. So now what we've done is we pulled this one audience D out, and we've put it into its own campaign. You can leave this thing exactly the way it is. You don't need to worry about touching it. You don't need to turn it off. You don't need to change anything because the whole thing's actually working right. But we're going to isolate this thing out to a campaign with $1,000 per day budget on it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that 3 to 5 more times. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got 3 to 5 campaigns, all at $1,000 per day budget, that are targeting this one audience. And the reason that we're doing more than one campaign is you actually will get a variety of different things that happen in these campaigns based on what algorithm gets assigned. So there's multiple algorithms in Facebook, and so they can you're going to get a variety of different results across these campaigns. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to give ourselves the opportunity to get one that maintains this number or stays really low. And that's 9 times out of 10 what's going to happen. Now, what you're probably thinking is, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know if I can do $3,000 to $5,000 a day. What if none of that stuff works? Then I'm screwed, right? Well, here's what we're going to do. You see, we're going to put a CYA policy on all these campaigns so you don't actually lose money. All right, now what's CYA? Well, first of all, let's cover your, okay, for those of you that don't know. All right, now how do we do that? We're going to use a little old thing that we call the rules inside of Facebook. And on these new campaigns that we're going to put together, we're going to add rules. And we're going to go into the rules and we're going to say, hey, Facebook, if any of these campaigns up here have spent more than I want to, and what I like to do is set it at 2 times the goal CPA. So we're going to say, hey, Facebook, if my campaign has spent $80 today and I have 0 conversions, or my goal is, or my KPIs are greater than $40, then we're going to shut those campaigns off. So we're only going to spend $80 on each one of these campaigns to see if any of them hit our numbers or not. And the majority of the time they all do, and if they don't, they shut off, and it's no different than if you tested anything else at a lower budget. You're spending no more than if you put a $100 campaign out and you let that run for a day and it didn't produce. You're actually spending $20 less. Okay, so a lot of people get freaked out by these big numbers thinking that's what you're going to spend, but that's not the case. We can put these policies in place that allow us to test these higher budgets without risking all of the money. And what we're doing is we're identifying things that have the potential to do this in smaller budgets as well. And this campaign, this scaling strategy works very, very, very well. We're able to rapidly go from very small budgets up to thousands of dollars a day and get this to maintain. Now, here's another little cool tidbit that I'm going to give you that happens in these particular campaigns. All right, now, one of the things, and you may have done something similar to this already, and one of the things that we're seeing is after a day or 2 or 3, sometimes 7, maybe a little bit longer, everything will all of a sudden die. Right now, when that happens, what you need to do is you need to just simply duplicate the ad and change creative. So you've got the one ad that's running in here, and it starts to decline, just duplicate that ad. And now what we're doing on these higher budgets is I'm duplicating this 3 to 5 times, and I'm changing elements in the creative. I'll change up the image, maybe add a video, change up some of the copy. There's any number of directions you can go with it. There isn't any set process to do it. The whole point is to make sure that you're using the messaging that you know appeals to your ideal customer and gets them to take the next step. And it's all about feeding more options into the system so Facebook can keep showing ads to this audience and keep the stuff fresh. That's why it declines, right? So once you get it going and it starts declining, then you just keep feeding it more stuff. And then you can keep doing this process with multiple audiences. Because this one's pretty close. You could actually pull that one out, put it in its own $1,000 per day campaign, duplicate it multiple times. And so you can do all of these things on top of each other with multiple audiences, right? But ideally we're looking for, that goal, 1/4 of the goal, because when you go to scale, Facebook's going to show the ads to more people, those CPAs go up. So if you started with something that was higher, then it rapidly goes out of KPI really quickly. That's why we want it to be really, really, really low, because that gives us a good combination, a good idea that, hey, this audience and creative combo is a winner. We can scale that thing up and not blow our shirts off and start losing money. And then what we always do is we put these CYA policies in place that protect us in case, stuff doesn't work out the way that we were anticipating it. We don't blow out a whole bunch of money and lose money. Right? There you go. That's our strategy that's working today. That's how we go from $100 per day to $1,000 plus per day. inside of campaign budget optimizations, and then we can duplicate them and replicate all this stuff out, get it to go, make sure that we don't get hosed at the same time. To the victor belong the spoils. It's Jason Horn.
All right, hey, if your business is doing $20,000 to $50,000 per month and you're kind of like stuck in this little spot there. You're running most of the things by yourself. You're doing pretty well, but you don't really have like a team built, and you want to start scaling, and you know that paid traffic's going to allow you to do that, but you're just kind of not sure how to get that whole thing working, and how do you manage all of this along with everything that's on your plate. If that's you, then I've got something for you right now. What we've done is we put a program together that I call the Directive, and it's geared just for people like you that are in your spot right now. It's meant to help you get over that hump and be able to put the processes and systems in place that not only extend across your paid advertising, but also into the back end of your business, so that you can scale up your business to the six-figure mark per month and beyond. That's exactly what this is designed for. And we've got a private group here that we've limited to 30 select entrepreneurs that are in that space right now, where you're doing at least $20,000 per month, and you want to start putting systems and people in place and start growing and scaling in a time leveraged manner using paid traffic and get to that six-figure per month mark. We're able to help our customers rapidly get to that mark inside of this program that we call the Directive. Now, like I said, it's limited to just 30 entrepreneurs that fit this criteria. And even though you may have these base criteria here, we still may not be a good fit. So if you're in that spot and you would like to work with me and my team in a one-to-one manner on your ads, your offers, and your funnels, along with the back end of your business, so that we can get you in that spot where we can take you from where you are now to six figures plus per month, then go ahead and click the link that we're going to put in the comments below this video, and it's going to take you out to a page where you can apply to talk with one of us on the team. You may talk to me, and you may end up talking to one of my other team members, who is one of our qualified trainers, also an agency owner, very good friend of mine. We will only work with the best people. You may talk to me or one of those trainers, and we'll talk about your business and see if this is a good fit for you or not. We'll answer all your questions, make it real simple. Like I said, only if you meet that criteria. You got to be doing at least $20,000 per month, and you want to start putting systems and stuff in place so that you can leverage paid traffic and get to six figures per month. All right? So if you meet that criteria and you want to talk further, see if the Directive is a good fit for you, fill out the form below. We'll get on the phone, talk with you, see if it's a good fit. If it is, we can talk about what it would look like to move forward so that we can help you more one-to-one, get to where you want to be. To the victor belong the spoils. This is Jason Horn.